Good morning. Happy Friday to you. Oh my gosh. I'm Marshall Shore.
And I'm Melissa Farley. We're coming at you from the fabulous Arizona Center.
Indeed. And this is the morning show. Thank you so much for being here. We are so happy that you were joining us this morning. We've got an amazing show full of fun guests. So much good stuff going on.
And what you just witnessed was we were attempting a thumb war, which really we were just kind of wiggling our thumbs back and forth.
Yeah, it was kind of like us in sports.
I know.
It's like...
which we will have someone on talking about sports things on another episode.
Oh, indeed. Yeah, we were just talking about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So...
We'll see how that goes.
But not like national thumb competition winners.
Is that a thing? Do they have
I'm sure there is.
I mean, if they've got like ping pong, I feel like thumb wars would have to be a thing. We don't have Brian here anymore to just like look up random stuff.
Or sometimes he actually just knew the stuff.
That's true.
So
we did get a visit from Brian this morning. For those of you that have watched the morning show before, he used to be on the show with us. We love him. We miss him. It was good to see him.
I know.
So
yeah.
We might be bringing Brian on occasionally for funsies.
Yeah. No, I know. I think that would be fun. So
I do too.
Yeah.
I do too. So Marshall, what's been going on with you? What's up?
You know, just getting ready for Arizona Unzipped. We've got that happening.
Coming up.
So just did a couple photo shoots for that to kind of get the word out. We've got VIP seats for that, so I'm in the process of putting together goodie bags. But just reminded me, it's like, I need to send some emails out today. So
Nice.
Yeah. Then I did a little thing with a wine salesman downtown. And so I'm going to go back when we're going to sit there and staple some corks to coupons for the swag bags.
Okay, well, that's cool.
So I was like, let's get something a little more tacked on instead of just a piece of paper.
Yeah, I like that.
So, and you've got extra corks floating around, I have a feeling.
How do you staple a cork? How does that work?
You use a stapler?
But it's so thick, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but the staple's it's like a vampire. They just...
Okay, all right.
They just kind of go in.
I believe you. Do you have a staple gun, by the way?
I do.
You do?
I do.
Oh, I wish I would have known that. We need a staple gun for
the
studio. Not permanently, just like to do a couple of things. Yeah, I was like, I don't feel like I know anybody that would have I certainly don't have a staple gun. So.
Oh, and I need to talk to you about your guy that built this, because I need to build a self-standing door.
Oh, okay. So at your place?
It's for an art project.
Oh, I was like, are you building your own dressing room? I feel like that's something you would do. Marshall's like, I'm going to construct my own private dressing room.
In the carport. I'm just going to put a door in the carport with nothing else.
Well, actually, we were supposed to, I'm supposed to do a FaceTime with him later so you can connect with him.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
To show him. We're working on the set, obviously, is what we're talking about.
Yes.
And we've still got things in the works.
Yeah, we're still zhuzhing. So, I mean, we're happy with this, but there's always room for more.
There's always more zhuzh to be had, I
Exactly.
feel like. I feel like I should put that on my resume, by the way, because I'm not like a technical writer, I'm like a zhuzh writer. Like, I'm the person that everybody, when they're working on a project, they're like, Melissa, can you zhuzh this up a little bit? Like, I'm like, yeah, I guess that's my thing.
Exactly.
There are worse things to be good at, I feel like.
There are.
Yeah, I know.
So what's going on with you?
Well, I was just going to say, Marshall, are you going to come to my tap recital?
I didn't know you were having a tap recital.
We are. We're having a tap recital. You want to see it.
When and where?
It's a bunch of old women and me.
So I don't know if I told you, but there's a running joke with my mom.
Yes.
So years ago, living in the Midwest, she got bit by a brown recluse spider.
What?
And so the running joke is, after that, she can't tap dance now because of the spider bites.
Why?
Well, because she wouldn't tap dance before. And so literally, I mean, she just had some work done on, I think, cataracts.
Okay. Oh, okay.
And so the joke is now,
Yeah.
but can you tap dance yet?
But can you tap dance?
And she's like,
yet?
no, I still can't tap dance.
I could get her to tap dance. I could make that happen.
I think
Look at me working miracles. I know.
That's right. Getting mom tap dancing.
Mom tap dancing. Yeah.
So getting have you tap danced is the running joke.
I think my recital.
So when is it?
I think it's right after you're the 10th, right?
Are you the 11th?
Oh, yeah.
Oh no, I have an event on the 11th.
No! What time? Because we're in a weird time. We're old, you know.
Well, this is Scottsdale Performing Arts, the Sun Punchers, which is my friend Betsy John Rahouse, who is a guitarist for Florence and the Machine out of Tucson. So it's all these folks.
Wait. What do you mean he's a guitarist for Florence and the Machine?
He plays guitar?
You know that's like my favorite.
No, I had
band,
no clue
right?
until this moment.
No,
yeah.
I'm obsessed. Like if you would have been behind me pulling into the parking garage today, you would have heard Florence and the Machine blasting out of my car. What?
Yeah. So they have this group called the Sun Punchers, and so my friend X is going to be singing with them.
Okay.
So we've got a little cabaret table. So
why don't they ever play here, Florence and the Machine? Can I have a discussion with him?
Yeah, I mean,
I
can just drop you off at his house.
Okay.
I mean, him and his wife are delightful.
Oh,
so.
that's cool. That's cool. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you've got to miss my tap recital, at least it's for somebody who's in Florence and the Machine. I'll accept that.
So, well, what time is your dance recital?
I don't know. I got to find out.
It's like, sure, I'll go to this concert as well, and oh yeah.
The holidays, everything coming out of the holidays.
Can you zoom in your feet? They'll just put a little TV screen, and you can tap
Yeah,
dance.
I can live stream it for you. I'll just send it to you. Oh, that would have been so fun, though. They would have gotten a kick out of you if you were there. So, we'll see. Maybe it's early. That would feel like it would make sense because it's at a retirement home community.
Oh yeah, because it wouldn't be at night because they'll all be asleep.
I know. I feel like it's an afternoon thing, but I'm not positive.
Yeah, because dinner's probably at 4.
Yes.
So you're probably pre-dinner entertainment.
I would assume so. Yeah. I might be horribly wrong.
But don't be if you're after the ice cream, you're done.
These are really active people, though. Like, they have a heated pool, so they swim all year long and there's a 90-year-old that teaches water aerobics.
Nice.
It makes me feel so good about
I know, I just
going
realized
old.
we're going to get like a slew of letters like, we're old, we don't just go to... Well, so, I mean, I'm going to like a pre-New Year's thing. This guy who's retired from AESU, he's in his 80s. He's having a party that doesn't even, like, the opera recital starts at midnight.
Yeah. That's normal, though. Yeah, for that scene, I feel like. That's normal.
For that scene, but
Yeah.
but he's like 80 plus.
Well, good for him.
And I'm like, good for him, but I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to make it that late.
You're an up all nighter though. Like I'm in bed at 8, and you're like, I'm just getting started, Mel, at like 8 o'clock.
Although last night I did go to bed at 8:30 and then woke up at like 4:30 and got some work done. So I was like, ooh, nice.
See, that's my schedule. I go to bed at 8 and I get up at 4. Yeah, so that's my thing. Okay, we've been.
Yeah, we should actually do something.
I know. I was like, we just kind of got caught up talking to each other, but we actually have some guests that will provide real value to you.
Right. I mean, because it's such an interesting story. So I'm looking forward to hearing the story.
Yeah.
And kind of how they're helping folks.
Totally. Yeah.
So.
We've definitely been all about that. I feel like some care.
Right.
And how these people are doing what they do to help other people, and so we love that. So yeah, we're going to take a quick break so we can get our guests set up here, and we'll be right back after this so you can meet them.
Indeed. We'll be right back here at the Arizona Center in just a moment. Can you put the mic still hot? And welcome back to the morning show. I'm Marshall Shore.
And I'm Melissa Farley. We're coming not live, just here, alive from the Arizona Center.
We are live at the fabulous Arizona Center.
I mean, it's habit, saying live.
I know.
But we are
live.
We are alive, and we are joined by these fabulous guests right here. We have Robert and Drea from AtoZ Botanicals, and I read about what you do, and I'm very curious to hear about your story and about your products.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the most interesting thing is like the story of kind of how it's gotten to this point.
Sure.
And where you started and kind of how things morphed.
So about 10 years ago when the medical marijuana industry was coming on in Arizona, My wife and I have a chef and cooking background. She's a pastry chef. I'm a biologist. So originally we wanted to make products, healthy, get people high, and make money. And that was it.
That seems like a good goal.
And then it got complicated because then I realized that the early part of it, that these cannabinoids that we didn't know anything about, we only knew sativa and indica, were helping people in different levels, whether sleep, pain. I had ladies with fibromyalgia. I never knew what fibromyalgia was 10 years ago. And then we started, left the THC industry and created AtoZ Botanicals about 7 years ago.
Okay.
The goal was to get medically approved and to be a non-THC formulation, so we're safe for young people, old people, not trying to get somebody high, trying to help them get through a day of either anxiety, depression, these are our big ones, pain, chronic pain. And what I've learned in the last year is there are a lot of young people suffering, cancer patients. I had a very aggressive form of lymph node cancer 2 years ago, the deadliest. My oncologist let me use everything bedside.
Wow, okay.
And what I learned was, when you're fighting cancer, you need everything. And so I felt like I had to go through that journey. 8 months ago, I'm completely cancer-free. Only had to do 5 major treatments instead of 6, because doing the chemo is killing the cancer, but it's killing you.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And so the cannabinoid therapy, what I call, is chemo, cannabinoid, and animal. That was for me. Those therapies helped me not only get through the cancer, survive it, beat it, and I'm here today. I'm still working on getting my legs right, but I'm blessed. And so I'm helping many, many people who are suffering. Drea's been with us. She works out in the field. I'd like for her to say a couple of things on what we're doing and what we're accomplishing.
So we've helped people with anxiety, with depression, with sleep issues. Insomnia is a big one.
Yeah.
A lot of people have a lot of sleep issues. We work for chronic pain as well. Our topical, that's why I started working for him, is one of my absolute favorites. I've had multiple surgeries on one foot, and I've always been looking for that relief for the swelling and just even the pain, because everybody's got to be on your feet all day long.
Right.
You got to walk everywhere.
Right.
So I've started using this topical, and it literally works for anything and everything. You have pain, inflammation, put a little bit on, it works within 3 to 15 minutes. It lasts 6 to 8 hours.
That's incredible. Yeah.
It
I use a topical every day. So I have, it's not a real term. I just call it migraine body. So I have chronic migraines, but I get inflamed all the time. So even if I'm not in a full-blown migraine state, I usually will have one side of my body that's in a lot of pain. So I use topicals now that I've found. And it's interesting because like the meds that I used to take, they were ripping up my esophagus and causing liver damage. And, it's like, so I'm trying to find alternatives.
Synthetics.
Yeah, so something like this. And maybe just say, we are so happy that you have beat cancer and that you're here with us today.
Well, it's a blessing.
Yeah, that's incredible.
And my heart goes out to young people today. I have about 20 that I'm helping as young as 10 years old going through cancer treatments.
Wow, yeah.
And that's, if I can help them.
Right.
And the thing about our product, non-THC, not 1%.
That's great.
Not 2%,
Wow.
not zero.
None. Zero.
And it's the only way that we can actually be in doctor-approved medical conditions.
Right.
That's so cool and important and rare, I feel like, because yeah, a lot of those products a 10-year-old wouldn't be able to use. Now I'm curious, so let's kind of go down the line here a little bit.
Sure.
So like I have a really good friend, she takes weed gummies almost every night to sleep because she's just highly anxious, can't fall asleep. What would be an alternative that you all have here that she could
Well,
try?
we have
sleep
a
aid.
sleep aid.
Okay.
The problem with gummies, and you know, everything that we have online are sugar-free. You know, when you're adding a gummy, okay, we're trying to eliminate refined sugars in our diet. So now you're adding an inflammation product that's, you know, to me it doesn't make sense. The other thing is people use melatonin, and you know that melatonin is very dangerous unless you know how much you should dose. The body produces.
I was going to say, I get like totally knocked out whenever I take melatonin, and like
Yeah.
not in a good way.
Not in a good
But
way.
then you can wake up feeling groggy
Yeah.
and hungover,
Right.
and you feel like you got
Yeah.
hit by a truck. And who wants to feel like that? You want to actually feel like you got a really good night's sleep, and you got
And have energy.
and have
yeah,
energy in
yeah.
the next morning. Well, our sleep aid, it actually does that. You're not going to feel groggy in the morning. You're not going to feel hungover. You're actually going to feel like you got a really good night's sleep. You were well rested. And if you're in any kind of pain, it actually helps with pain relief as well, because
Yeah.
it has the CBG in it, and it's got CBN in it.
Okay.
So CBG is an anti-inflammatory, and it's also and then the CBN is a natural body relaxant, so it's going to actually help you fall asleep and stay asleep.
That's really cool. So tell us how people can find your products and learn more about what's available to them.
So we have two websites. Our main website is AtoZBotanicals.com with
Okay.
an S. Go on there. Not only do we have CBD education, we have you know, testimonials. I have a jockey who broke her back twice,
Oh, wow.
and she's a Hall of Fame jockey.
Okay.
And I've been treating her for 4.5 years. My product being the fact that it's non-THC, I have firefighters, police officers. All of these people can take these products, even the oral products.
Right, because they have to go through drug
Right?
tests and stuff.
Truck
yeah,
drivers,
yeah.
pilots,
Yeah.
they can all use it safely as well.
That's
Right.
right.
And I love that you've got the sleep, the pain, and then pets, which we didn't get into, but I
Yeah.
know but I
talk
know
about those.
yeah, exactly.
Then we do
So-
a mood boost, which is my favorite.
This is a mood boost?
No,
Oh.
this one right here is
Yeah.
our mood boost. This one is my favorite as well.
This
Those
is a
days-
great product for anybody. So not only does it have the CBG formulation that we have the clinical trials behind it, talking about how CBD works, how I was saying, reducing inflammation, reducing stress. They had 49 patients who were taking some type of anti-stress medication. The CBG combination worked better for 49, and on top of it, improved their cognitive skills, which
Wow.
is, you know, when you're dealing with
Yeah.
synthetics, then you got, you know, brain problems. And listen, we're not robots,
Yeah.
okay? The problem with the industry, and I work with many doctors, it's not the doctors. Pharmaceuticals decided that if we keep people on certain medications, we're going to make money.
Right.
Okay, and listen, a company needs to make money, but a person's health is more important, okay? And living a life where they're not have all these side effects from all these synthetics. You know what our side effects are?
What?
Heart healthy, brain health, and the CBG is found to help dry eyes, and I'm working on a glaucoma.
I'll take it.
With
Oh,
an
wow.
eye doctor.
I'll take those
So
side effects.
what is your website again so people can find out more information about
AtoZBotanicals.com, and then we have a medical website called Physicians Natural, and you'll see Dr. Corcoran, one of our doctors.
okay.
He's a local podiatrist in Scottsdale, 38 years, been using my product.
Wow.
That's fabulous.
And I created a wound gel form that's unlike any other on the industry.
Wow.
We use a nano silver, so I'm working with nanoparticles, and the nano silver has a patent on it that it can kill 98.7% of all bacteria. So with the
Wow.
natural oils, with the nano silver, we can heal wounds a lot quicker.
Wow.
Wow.
And wounds
Very
that,
cool.
you know, the problem is a doctor does surgery, does everything right, and then all of a sudden that gets infected.
Right.
It's not his fault, but he's the one that's liable. He opened that wound,
Yeah.
okay? But it's not his fault.
Yeah.
We have a product that can be put directly on a wound. Not one of our, we've had doctors use them. I'm in hospice facilities in Sacramento. And then we'll talk a little bit about the dog and animal products, which is
Cool.
very
Well, you know,
beautiful.
thank
Yeah.
you so much. I mean, I love how you got into it for one thing and then realized there was a larger issue.
Absolutely.
And how you adapted to that.
And we learned.
Yeah,
You know,
no,
we
exactly. And
learned
learned
as we
and developing
went.
new products to help even more people. So thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story.
Absolutely.
And showcasing your products and how people can feel better, get better sleep. Chronic pain is a huge issue.
Yeah.
Yes.
As we just talked about.
As we just talked about.
Yeah.
So lots of things, products to explore and check out. Definitely a lot of education that you can learn from visiting their websites. There are two. We are so thankful to have you on today. We will be right back after a break. We'll be talking some history, things to do.
some all kinds of fun
have
stuff.
another guest. So keep
And
it
I think there
right
might
here.
even be some other guests hanging out already. So
There might be.
Who knows what's going to come up next?
It's always a party here.
Indeed. We'll see you back here in just a few minutes on The Morning Show. Hello and good morning. Welcome back to The Morning Show. I'm Marshall Shore.
And I'm Melissa Farley. We are coming at you from
The fabulous Arizona Center. We finally got it.
I know.
Boom, 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 boom.
Well, it'll never happen again.
No, it probably
We
won't.
should cherish this moment.
It was probably all the CBD.
I haven't done any yet.
No, there was that cream.
Marshall, are you having a good time?
No, there was that
Oh.
cream that he gave. So maybe
Oh, it was in that too?
I'm assuming that
Wow.
if he's doing it, it's got that in it.
I'm so glad there's like no random testing of anything. Okay, well, I am here. We are here. Both of us are
oh my
here.
gosh! And do we have a guest?
No. She is my friend. No, I'm kidding. I'm not kidding. She is my friend.
Well, I
We
was
are
going to
here
say,
with-
indeed.
This is Kim, and Kim is one of the original founders of the Worldwide Women's Film Festival. She's also the board president. Yep. And
Wow, I didn't realize you were so important.
she wears the official shirt.
I know. I thought it was so funny. I'm like, I love that.
Every day, she's like a cartoon character. This is her uniform.
Pretty
No, I'm
much.
kidding.
You forgot the most important thing that I do, Melissa.
What?
I also clean the toilets if need be.
I did forget about that. You're right.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
but that's okay. I still love you.
So Kim, we're so happy to have you here. Thank you
you.
for joining us. I am, in full disclosure, I am also on the board of the Worldwide Women's Film Festival. Kim's usually trying to hunt me down to do things because I'm.
Dun dun dun.
I know. She found me. This is how she found me.
We were kind of captive in a certain time
Yeah.
slot.
Yeah.
So Marshall's come out to the Worldwide Women's Film
Yeah.
Festival. He's familiar. I'm familiar. But for those that may not be familiar, tell us a little bit about your incredible festival.
Well, we're a very important film festival, number one. Why is it important? Is we empower women filmmakers in the telling of their stories, whether they be shorts, features, documentaries, music videos, web series, it doesn't matter. They're women focused. Now, with that being said, can men be in the film festival and submit films? Yes, they can. All films got to have one thing. They need to have one woman behind the camera. We're talking director, producer, cinematographer, editor, screenwriter. That's easy to do. Very easy to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so our whole goal, right, is to uplift and make people more familiar and exposed to the voices and the work of women, but we're not eliminating the contributions of other people, other demographics, and that's just kind of the way that we've chosen to move our festival forward. When is it coming up?
March 7th through the 9th, 2025 at the Shea Harkins 14 at Scottsdale Road and Shea Boulevard.
Yeah, so what I love about the festival too is it's got a really chill vibe, you know, like a lot of people come from other states. We've even had some people come from other countries. And people come out and you do kind of this pre-festival get-together, a happy hour where everybody gets to mix and mingle. We have events all through the weekend. What's your favorite thing, though, about the fest? What do you look forward to every year?
Oh, man. Actually, there's two.
Okay.
I'll be honest. It's the happy hour that we do on Friday.
Yeah.
Everyone gets together, and it's just everyone can relax, have a couple of cocktails, go to the festival, relax, and then giving out the awards.
Yeah.
To me, that is so exciting because I've seen the films, and it's like, oh, I get to give it to them, you know.
Kim has low energy, as
Yeah.
you can tell. I don't know if you
Indeed.
noticed. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think a question that I've gotten that I'm sure other people
Yeah.
are curious about is, you know, are these all really serious, like women-forward stories where I'm going to be, you know, watching period films? Like tell us about kind of the film selection and what people can expect to experience for the films that they're going to see.
Okay, well, I don't believe there's no period pieces, so that way. No, they're all independent films. There's a lot of different genres. I mean, we got horror, suspense, comedy, documentary, you know, some funny and some, you know, very serious, you know, documentaries and, you know, features, you know, a narrative.
Can we talk about the feature that's coming?
Oh, God, yes.
Okay.
Put that camera on me.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, we are talking, oh, thank you.
Ask and you shall receive
I
here on the
know.
morning show.
We've got a documentary you have got to come see.
Yeah.
You have to. It's called,
First We Bomb New Mexico.
oh my God, I just like tossed the title.
I got you.
Thank you. I know you do. You were there. First We Bombed New Mexico. This is a documentary. It's about almost 2 hours. Lois Lippman is the executive director of it. It talks about the Oppenheimer story, the precursor to it, when they were testing the bomb in New Mexico.
Yep.
I am telling you, that time went like that. And when it was done, I'm like, are we done? That it just moved very well paced, and it tugged at your heart. It's about all the people that live there and the generations of the cancer from the fallout of the radiation, and just people were not treated very well by the government. Let's just put it that way, in a very nice way of saying it.
Yeah.
And the people that were affected, they came to the Flagstaff International Film Festival. That's where we first saw it.
Yep.
And it's like, we've got to have this film. And the stories are so powerful that I am like telling everybody you have to see it. And why? Is because they're coming in Arizona for a vote. And the last vote that happened was they were one short to be part of a, was it like a program that people with nuclear, if they were hurt by nuclear fallout or nuclear like stuff, they can be a part of this and receive money for it. Well, they didn't get a vote. They lost it by one. So they're coming to Arizona to talk to the legislatures and getting the vote. So we want people there to help spread the word and to really get the legislators out there to say, hey, come on, help these people.
Yeah.
You know, we did something really bad as human beings. Now let's do something good and help these people out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think kind of a key piece to this is they basically made it sound like they were testing in abandoned areas, but really
Yeah.
there were communities, mostly people that were native to the area, that had lived there and with their families for a very long time. And so they are, as with a lot of underrepresented communities, had no way to really advocate for themselves for a very long time. And there's now a woman who has made it her life's mission, essentially, to advocate for all of these different communities that have been impacted by this, because they've had doctors come in and they start treating people and they're like, your rate of cancer, specifically thyroid cancer, is not normal. Like people should not be getting cancer this much in this size of a community. So there's documented evidence, and there's
and especially when it's one type of cancer, you know that it's location based, and not genetics.
And it's just there was not a dry eye, in the theater when we watched it. I was crying out probably for the entire second. Like that whole second hour, I was weeping, and they got a standing ovation. It's a really powerful.
So during the film festival, will it just be shown once, or will it be multiple times?
It'll be just shown once,
Yeah.
because of the time factor that
Right.
we
No,
have.
that's what I was wondering. It's like, my gosh, it's like a 2-hour film. It's like.
I will make an ask here. They are actively seeking for a bigger platform. So if you have any connections with Netflix, with Hulu, with any of the bigger streaming platforms, and you do come out and see this film, or want to, can't come and maybe just want to learn about the film and get a screener for it, they would love to connect with you. So definitely, reach out if that's a connection that you have. But yeah, so the festival brings films like that, to the forefront. And we're so proud to be showing that this year.
Oh, God. I mean, it was that film, I just can't say how good that film is when, at the end, Melissa was asking me for a tissue. I just sat there. I was like stunned, and the thing I was thinking is, we suck as human beings. no, that's the truth.
No,
we do.
I
mean,
know.
just the horrible things that had happened to these people.
Yeah.
And I think as human beings, we should, we created a problem. We should fix it somehow.
Well, and it is timely in Arizona in the sense that they are talking about doing some new mining again, and there are materials now brought through Flagstaff and other communities that could be impacted in this same way. So if you think, if you're one of those people that's like, that doesn't affect me, it doesn't impact me, well, it's closer to home.
Well, and that was the interesting thing. It's like
think.
chatting with a friend who works as kind of the in-between person between indigenous communities and the mines. As more and more batteries are needed because of the rise of e-vehicles.
Right.
Now lithium mining, which we have here. And so that's creating this whole other. So I was like, oh my, it's like you think it's like, okay, well, this is an easy solution or a simple answer. Oh no, now there's all these ramifications that you didn't even think about. So
absolutely.
And I think things like this gets people thinking, well, what else are we not doing?
Exactly. And that is the wonderful thing about film. You can put it on, you can put it out there and people can learn, and that's just the wonderful thing about this festival. It's just all the filmmakers and
and the different points of view. I mean,
I love that
what I
part.
loved was like there was the one short with Kathy Blaze Jackson, and it's like
Jefferson.
Oh, Jefferson. I knew it was a J. And so, and then like looking over, and there she is in the audience. And so, it's so cool to be there and see so many different points of view.
He is talking about a short film called 42 Seconds.
Oh, which was breathtaking.
It's a phenomenal film.
Gosh.
It was a local film that was shot and filmed here in Arizona, and it's about what happens when 3 survivors of basically a shooting go back and meet at the diner where it happened. And it's another very powerful, wonderful film.
Right.
So Kim, thank you so much. We've touched on some heavy topics today, but
there's
really,
also, but the thing is, it's a range. I mean, it's not all just
there's
one vein.
comedy, there's horror, there's
all
all sorts of things. But if you do want to be moved and hear stories of humanity, we do that really well.
Yes, we do. And also there are plenty of Arizona films that are going to be there.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. So this is actually the film poster for the festival coming up. My husband designed
I was
that.
a wonderful poster that is.
Yeah, so he always has fun doing that every year.
All right, so that's March 7th through the
9th. Yes.
So Friday to Sunday.
Right.
Nice.
At Scottsdale Shea 14.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, yeah. All right, Scottsdale Shea 14. cool thing that we didn't chat about.
What?
Chat about Panavision real quick.
Yes, Panavision, love them. Mwah, mwah. The reason why we love them so much is because they have a sponsorship of our cinematography award.
Yep.
The best cinematographer will get a rental package of $60,000 for free for 1 year. How cool is that?
It's a big deal.
Yeah,
It's
That's
really
a
big
huge deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Panavision's so cool.
Yep.
I don't know, I still can't believe that we have that. I think
know.
that's so cool. Okay, so you can't submit films for this current upcoming festival,
Right.
but we do actively, we'll be taking submissions for 2026 here.
In May, June-ish.
Summer-ish, yeah. But you can start planning and getting ready and getting tickets for the 2025 festival. So
bet.
tell people where they can find us.
You can find us at www.filmfestival.org. And we'll have a link there to the tickets and also the program, which we're still working on, so don't go right now. Give us about a month to get that all finalized, but yeah.
Yeah.
But go ahead and mark it in your calendar because it's well worth going and seeing.
Yes.
The range, and also if I can get to meet all these people that were in the films
Yeah.
and getting behind the scenes talkbacks.
Yeah.
So.
And we do have a monthly newsletter that you can subscribe to, and we're also on social media. So if you want to get updates, we've got a great woman who works for us, Bethany, who does our social media. She's fantastic. So thank you so much, Kim, for being on the show today. Can't wait to celebrate and have the festival with you in just a couple months here.
Yeah.
It's coming up quick.
Oh, God,
I
is
know.
it ever.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back here with some more things to chat about and a bonus guest for you. We've got 3 on this episode, so keep it right here.
Hey, it's Marshall Shore here on the morning show. Happy Friday. We are so glad you're joining us.
And I am Melissa Farley. We're thankful to be here at the Arizona Center. Marshall, I didn't even ask you because I'm so rude. How was your Christmas?
You know, it was quiet, just surrounded by loved ones, and got some great gifts.
What'd you
I got
get?
a really cool Keith Haring pop-up book.
Oh, nice.
Because, well, the Art Museum right now has this Keith
Yeah,
Haring
yeah.
exhibit up right now about when he was here in the 80s painting a mural. And one of the things in the gift shop is this really cool pop-up book where it's like you open it up, it's like boom, and things, it's not just like a little pop, it's like pop. So.
In true Marshall style.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, oh my gosh, can I get like some clothing that does that? That would be really cool.
That would be really cool.
So.
Ooh.
So yeah, and what about you?
Christmas is busy because all of my family is here.
Oh,
and
that's
so
right.
I do the house hopping thing,
Okay.
but it's nice. You know, we wake up really early at the Shanahan house. We make hominy and sausage, which is such a not Arizona thing, but it's a Wisconsin thing apparently.
Oh, I was like, I've not heard of that tradition.
It's pretty good. Yeah, we make hominy and sausage. We open gifts there. Then we go over to my parents' house, have a second breakfast, open presents there. Then we go over to Grandma's house. Then I go back to the Shanahans where the rest of the family comes over.
And at some point along the way, you just keep notching the belt a little looser, a little looser, and a little looser.
I gave in a long time ago and did the elastic pant thing. Yeah, and just like stopped even bothering trying to tie the drawstring. Like it's
Right.
just it is whatever. So
Well, we hope you had a great holiday season as well.
yes, yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, and if you have things that you'd like to share with us on social about your traditions or favorite moments over the holidays or a great gift you got, I would love to live vicariously through you if you got a Corvette or something, you know. So share it. Well, we'd love to see it and celebrate with you, right?
My one regret is this year I did not put up my usual aluminum Christmas tree.
Why?
Had to rearrange the living room, so now there's not room right now, so I haven't quite figured out how to.
Always room for an aluminum tree.
But it also spins, so it needs more space than just.
Of course it spins.
So, because I was like, you've got to have it spin, so that way with the color wheels
You're like
going.
such a Vegas entertainer, but wait, there's more.
Well, and 2 color wheels,
Yes.
so because 1 color wheel is not enough either, so you
No,
need
it's
2
not.
color wheels, and so that way it's just spectacular. But so it takes a lot of space to set up.
Okay, next year. Next year.
Maybe.
No,
We'll
it's
see.
happening. I'm going to come over and we're going to set it up together. I will be your accountability buddy to get the aluminum tree up. All right. What are we celebrating? now?
So I want to tag on to what Kim was saying about the
Yeah.
Panavision camera. So a lot of people may not realize that. So Steven Spielberg.
Yes.
So if you saw the movie The Goldbergs, you know that he grew up here.
Yeah.
And so he entered a competition from the, oh God, what was the name of the record label?
I don't know. You're the historian.
I
not
know,
me.
and I'm
Yeah, I
like,
don't know.
oh man, oh. And so basically there was a competition, and part of it was an amateur film competition, and the winner would win their own camera. And he won, and so that's when he did his first film, Firefly, that was then shown at the Phoenix Art Museum, that little theater there.
Which they have that whole kind of tunnel that's
Which they did only a few
dedicated
years
to
ago. I mean, because
Spielberg.
everyone's
Yeah.
like, you really need to celebrate this history.
Yeah.
And so just him winning that camera launched this entire career.
And they did a movie actually about his childhood and growing
Right.
up and kind
Yeah.
of what influenced him in his childhood and becoming a filmmaker. I didn't expect to like it as much as I did. I mean, it was a very solid movie.
Right.
So if you're interested at all in kind of that early beginning stages of his career, it's a great film to catch. Yeah.
Indeed. And then other things we can celebrate. So back on this day in 1937, the U.S. Forest Service basically launched the first attempt to save birds that were considered extinct. They found a group of these birds in Mexico and actually brought them up.
Cool. I love
And
birds.
it was the masked bobwhite quail.
Ooh, a quail.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which you think we have lots of quail,
There
but
they
not
are.
exactly.
Oh, they don't have the plume on the.
They don't
on
have the
head?
plume. So, but
Okay.
they have this great little mask.
Yeah.
That they're wearing. So yeah, so they're now rampant throughout southern Arizona because of this.
That's one of my favorite things sometimes is just like sitting at a window at home or when I visit people, and the quails go
Oh.
running by.
I mean,
think
DBG,
that's
the
so cool.
Botanical Gardens is great
Yeah.
to sit there
Yeah.
and watch the quail run around.
Oh no, it's wonderful. And it's funny, my mother-in-law hates birds, like cannot deal with birds at all. And I think they're delightful. Like I actually want to be one of those people that gets one of those visors that's a feeder. You have like goggles on and then it comes out and the birds land right there and you can watch them eat. I want to do that so bad.
And then you only after watching the birds, then do that.
I have never seen that. I should change that,
Oh yeah, you
shouldn't I? I bet
should.
I'm still gonna love birds though. I can't
So
help it.
also today is Free Balloon Day.
As in you get a balloon for free, or they
So-
need to be
so-
free to
so
save
what
from captivity?
So it actually comes from SpongeBob SquarePants. Him and Patrick borrow a balloon.
They stole a balloon?
And it pops, and then they think they are criminals.
Yeah.
And so they go to the police station, give themselves up, only to find out that nothing was wrong because it indeed was Free Balloon Day. So
Well, cute. I will absolutely go get a balloon today. That sounds like a holiday that I will partake in.
and then post-holiday, probably everybody has a little bit of fruitcake left. So today is Fruitcake Day.
Ew.
So
No.
So not a day to celebrate the eccentric folks in your life.
Where was I? I tasted fruitcake for the first time in my life this year. And I was so excited about it because, you always hear about fruitcakes, this like legacy Christmas dessert. And I put it in my mouth and I'm like, what is this? Like, oh God.
Well, and there is a wide variety of fruitcake.
I don't see how any variation of that could be good.
Well, if it's really good, it's like so soaked in booze that it's like having a
This was
drink.
not my
Yeah,
fruitcake.
so right. I mean,
Yeah.
see, it's like maybe you should just put a little bit of whiskey on it.
whiskey helps everything.
Booze always helps food.
Sorry, Mom. I don't drink whiskey.
So yeah, so if you have fruitcake left over from the holidays because you don't like it, just drown it in booze.
And bring it to Marshall.
I'll pour a little bit of coffee on there, and you're all set.
There you go.
Indeed. All right, so what else is going on?
Well, we are actually going to take a quick break, and we're gonna meet Alan. I know Alan, but you're going to meet Alan. The world's going to meet Alan.
That's right. We have our third guest.
We have a third guest.
Three. I feel like we need the flashing light from Sesame Street. 1, 2, 3.
I'll order one. We'll find one on Amazon. I don't know. All right, keep it right here. We'll be right back so you can meet Alan. And I have some things to do to chat about as well.
Ooh, fancy that. Welcome back to the morning show. I'm Marshall Shore.
And I'm Melissa Farley. We're coming at you from the Arizona Center. The fabulous Arizona. I can't ever not say it now. Marshall,
I know.
Now
that it's like, I'm like, I'll just be over here like mouthing it.
Mouthing it?
Yeah.
The fabulous. Okay. We are so excited because we have a special third guest for you today.
I know. It's like we have 3 this time, and and all the guests today are really amazing.
No pressure. No pressure. We are joined by Mr. Alan Valor. I've known Alan for, I don't even know, a long time now.
8 years.
8 years?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I was going to say about 10, so I was being gracious. Yeah, about 8 years. And Alan is an actor, a producer, very involved in the film industry here. I always feel like it puts pressure on people, but I will say he's one of the funniest actors that I know. Like on film, just watching his performance, it's like he's really funny. But hi, Alan. Thanks for joining us
Thank
today.
you for having me.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
So I think what I want to start with talking about is we'll start serious and work up to some of the fun things. A lot of people don't know what it takes to really be an actor, especially maybe in Arizona where,
Right.
We're not flush like LA or New Mexico necessarily with castings all the time.
Yeah.
What does that take to be an actor? Like as your job, as your passion, what does that require from you?
Personally, it's a lot of determination and a lot of sacrifice. When being an actor in a community where, there's not a lot of money, there's not a lot of opportunities, you tend to have to focus a little bit more on that career, and it can cause a lot of stress when it comes to relationships with people, because it's something that you have to focus on a lot more as opposed to being part of the LA scene where there's a lot more opportunities, a lot more casting and things like that.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
yeah.
And I know you did something that I had done in the past too, which was sometimes you stop waiting for projects to come to you,
Yes.
and you do your own projects,
Yes.
right? You want to
Yeah.
talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so Kevin R. Phipps, very well known in the community. We got together and we produced a horror film called Dr. Seville's Horror Show. And I star in that. I play the evil mastermind, Dr. Seville.
Yeah, I guess you weren't funny in that one, but
No, there was a few funny moments.
yeah.
Like you said, it's when it comes to Arizona, you kind of have to pull a Bradley Cooper, where he did Limitless, because he was starting to be typecast. So he's like, well, I'm just going to do it on my own. I'll be an action star.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing here. I found that the best route in order to succeed in what I'm trying to do is to continue to create my own material and put myself out there that way. A lot of, I guess you could say there was a lot of mistakes made, not exactly sure what route to go in order to be seen. I found that it's probably better. Making a feature film is very, very difficult, and when you succeed at it, you kind of ask yourself, well, what's the real reason why I'm making a feature film?
Yeah.
And usually it's because you're just trying to sell it, because otherwise, you're really not. I mean, you could submit it to festivals, but I found that it's easier to make a lot of short films and star in them, and that's a great way to advertise yourself.
Right.
And so that's what I'm working on now, is just continuously doing short films, starring me, different genres, to kind of put myself out there, submit it to different festivals, and it's pretty much the best route to go as far as I'm concerned.
Visibility is really important when you're
Yeah.
an actor, and it's all about like, what have you done for me lately? Like, it doesn't matter if you had a really great film 5 years ago. It's like, but what are you working on? That's always the industry joke. Like, whenever you go to a party, it's like, oh, what are you working on right now? You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and so, but Alan, I thought, was really interesting because when I directed my first feature film, I was very strategic about how simple it was. I chose something that had very few locations, a small cast, no special effects. Like, I was like, this is going to be as manageable and doable as possible just to see if I can do this. And they do Dr. Seville's Horror Show, which for people that may not be familiar with it, is a really high quality horror film. And it is it's a huge cast, tons of sets, special effects, all the things, practical effects. You know, it was a huge undertaking. So for those that might not be familiar, why don't you talk a little bit about Dr. Seville's Horror Show and what that's all about?
Yeah. So Dr. Seville's Horror Show, it's a horror anthology, and it revolves around 3 stories that are interconnected. There's so many horror anthologies out there, Tales from the Crypt, Tales from the Dark Side, Trilogy Terror, the list goes on. From a distribution standpoint, one of the things that we needed to strive for was, how could we be different?
Yeah.
So one of the things that we did in the film, our writer, Craig Chenery, very brilliant man, he made it to where all 3 stories, because you have a wraparound story, and then it keeps trailing off into these 3 different stories, these 3 different tales, but they're all interconnected with the characters. Sort of like Pulp Fiction, where it's kind of played out of order. Another unique thing about Dr. Seville is usually a wraparound story, you have like the Crypt Keeper from Tales from the Crypt, not very deep, you just have like a creepy guy just kind of says a couple lines and introduces the next film. The Dr. Seville character actually has a very in-depth story behind that as well. So those are some of the unique aspects of that film. And I believe our budget was around $7,500.
That's it?
Yeah.
It looks like a multi-million-dollar film.
However, it took about 3 years to do. And that got me thinking about my career and how, you learn from your mistakes. And I don't regret doing Dr. Seville at all, but now I'm focusing on things a lot more simple.
Yeah.
And focusing more on my acting career as opposed to being a producer, because being a producer without money in Arizona is terrible, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No, it's extremely challenging. So, not to sound like going to a party, but what's next for you? Like, what do you got on the docket?
Yeah. So there is a short film. We're working out the budget right now. I finished writing it last month. It's a dark comedy called Prank Call Disaster.
Okay.
I probably can't talk about it because it's a G-rated show.
Okay.
But it should be pretty funny. I think some people will get it, some people won't get it, But and then just finished another short film, close to finishing it. It's kind of an experimental film, and it's a character study based on me in the life of being a film producer.
Yeah.
And so Daniel Blunk, him and I, we started shooting that. We have a few pickup shots that we're going to do early next year.
Okay.
And then, early next month. And let's see what else.
Can I ask, is the one with the cat viewable? Can people watch that?
Not yet.
I love that one.
I'm not entirely sure if it's going to be in other film festivals.
Okay.
I'll have to check. But I will probably just post it on my YouTube channel soon.
Okay.
So then everyone can view it.
And so what is your YouTube channel?
My YouTube channel?
Yeah.
Oh, it's just Alan Valor, YouTube.
Okay.
It's just, there's not much on there right now. It's pretty much just trailers of things that I've been in. Catastrophe is one of them, Dr. Seville's Horror Show, and then just a little few other things of my work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you are a horror fan, I definitely recommend you check out and follow Dr. Seville's horror show, which, if you didn't figure it out, he plays Dr. Seville, the title character in the anthology. And the catastrophe film is hilarious. It is so funny. So I do hope that you post that one, because I tell people about it like randomly all the time, I feel like. But thank you so much, Alan, for joining us today and for being on the show. If you would love to check out Alan's work, is the YouTube the best way, or is there a website?
You could, best way to get a hold of me personally is you could follow me on Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah, Alan Valor, Instagram. I think I'm the only Alan Valor that exists, so.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Pretty easy to find.
There's like 17 million Melissa Farleys, I feel like.
But you're one of a kind.
I am. Well, thank you, Alan. We so loved having you here. We're going to take one more quick break. We'll be right back to wrap up the show with some things to do and a little bit of history, I think.
Indeed, there's always more.
Right.
Welcome back to the morning show, coming to you.
See, you want to say live, don't you?
Well, coming to you alive.
You look at me like,
I know, I'm like, crap.
I did it too. I
Went
did it
down
too.
that rabbit hole.
Yeah.
So we're here at the Arizona Center. I'm Marshall Shore.
And I'm Melissa Farley.
We had 3 guests. I mean, boom, boom, boom,
We
boom,
did.
boom.
It felt, I think what the thing is, it feels like alive today. Like, we feel like we're doing a live podcast today. Yeah. But we are alive with excitement.
Indeed.
Over some things that you can do. Can I share some things with you, Marshall?
So what are some things we can do? As we're getting ready for New Year's, which is not that far away.
Yes.
But there's still a few days before
There
we get
are.
close to that.
And the 28th is actually a really fun day to kind of do some quirky things that you might not have thought about doing before. One of them is actually a Scottsdale mystery picnic. So this is basically a self-guided experience. You have to bring your own basket, bring all your own stuff to eat.
So it's okay. So we know who brought the potato salad.
Yes. So,
Okay.
well, what happens is you sign up. It's like anywhere from $120 to $175, and then you get clues to go on kind of like a self-guided foodie adventure, and you get treats. You pick up like treats along the way, and then eventually you get disclosed like this really cool secret location to actually have your picnic. Yeah, so it sounds kind of fun, and that's the mystery part of it, is you don't know the treats that you're going to get. So it's like a scavenger hunt, basically. Yeah, you're following
Which those are
these
really
clues.
big right now. I just signed up
They
for
are.
one with ASU, and I'm like,
Yeah.
it's not necessarily my jam, but I'm going with some folks. I'm like, I know they will enjoy it.
It'll be a good time.
So it'll be a good time.
Yeah. Another good time, I just love the name of this, Arizona Worm Farm VIP tour.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never done that, and it's on my list of things to do.
Yeah, you can go out to the farm, and they let you, basically collect your own eggs, visit with the bugs,
And the worms.
Yeah, and the worms. Yeah.
Wow.
And taste. You can do tastings.
Not the worms.
No, not the worms, but like anything that's ripe, like citrus trees and stuff like that. And everybody brings home their own half dozen farm fresh eggs that you personally will have collected yourself. So it's a very hands-on, get dirty on the farm kind of thing. It's only $25 to do it, though, and I think that sounds really fun.
Wow, that sounds like a fun thing.
Yeah, so the Worm Farm VIP tour experience, if you're interested, it is December 28th. It is 1.5 hours, and you do have to make a reservation. So
Do they have T-shirts for the worm farm?
I hope so.
I do
yeah.
too. I'm like,
I wonder if you have to make reservations because like the worms get tired.
I
they can
bet.
only do
I bet
so
you
many.
do, because I'm
so
sure
many
there's just like
groups.
queue of folks waiting to go to the worm farm.
I certainly am. This one's kind of fun, I feel like, especially for zonies, because we're so used to being in the pool. It's Winter Waves at Kiwanis Wave Pool. So it's indoor, it's heated. You can bring the family, the kids. This is the 27th today, tomorrow, and Sunday. And yeah, they've got games, coloring stations, activities, obviously the wave pool that you can go in any time of year. So that's always a good time.
Yeah.
This one is, because we like to talk about volunteering and getting involved, you can actually do a day of service with your friends and family on the 28th at Social Spin. They're looking for volunteers that can basically help sort things and kind of get stuff ready for incoming donations and programming and things that they've got going on. So they will provide light refreshments. You don't have to have any experience, just kind of a heart for service. And
Nice.
they're going to be doing that at Social Spin Phoenix, which is off of 2418 East Portland Street. So kind of a fun day to give back. But if that's not your
You know,
jam,
they would make a good guest.
they would make a good
Yeah.
guest. We should have them on. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've also got Gilbert Sunday Fun Day Ride, which Marshall and I would die if we tried to do any sort of a.
But you know, we could do it on e-bikes.
I don't know if I trust that either. But this is through the Global Bikes Gilbert location. It's going to be fun, medium pace jaunt around the town of Gilbert. There will be road and canal paths. Everyone's invited. They can do pedal bikes. You can do e-bikes. It's just, it's just a good time. And so they're meeting really early, Marshall. This might drop you out 6:30 a.m. and ride should be over around 8:30. So if you want to get up early and go for that e-bike ride, go for it. You're waking up at 4:30 now. You could pull that off. Yeah.
I like how you said one day. Now it's like forever on.
All the
I'm going to be
time.
doing that.
So
I'm like,
now your new thing. Also, since it is the weekend, we gave you a couple things to do out of the city, and that is the Tucson Community Cover Fest at Hotel Congress. There's going to be 8 bands that are going to be performing. They're all 8 cover bands. Show starts at 5 p.m., goes till about 10 p.m., and it's a $10 cover. So really fun. It's going to be music. Tom Waits, Sade, Radiohead, Lenny Kravitz, Paul McCartney, Amy Winehouse, David Bowie, and Cracker. Those are your cover bands. Well, not your cover bands, who they'll be
well, right, who they're
covering. Yeah, yeah.
And plus, I mean, it's like, Hotel Congress, you've got the Cupcake Cafe right there,
Oh,
so
yeah.
really good food.
Tucson's so fun to visit.
Just go make
Yeah.
your entire weekend at the Congress.
Totally, yeah. And then last one is, we've talked about this before, I've talked about it before, it's one of my favorite places to visit. Don't know if you'll actually be able to get a reservation there because they tend to book up in advance, but you could always go to Dot's Diner, and this is visiting the Shady Dell.
I was going to say,
Vintage
Dot's
Trailer
Diner is in the
Court
one and
Bisbee.
only Bisbee.
Yeah, yeah, Marshall and I both loved it. I stayed in the Tiki Bus, that's the one I stayed in actually.
Nice.
Yeah. But super cool. If you can get reservations, I definitely recommend it. It's really fun to stay in one of the old Airbuses. They have all different themes and styles, and it's such a fun thing. Dot's Diner usually has music.
And what I love about the Shady Dell is it's not for everybody.
No.
But because of that, it gets a really kind of cool crowd that hangs there now with the bar and everything. And at some point in the course of the evening, someone will be like, what does your trailer look like?
I know, and then you go see
then
other
you do the
people's
little
trailers.
parade,
Yeah.
getting to go look and peek your head into all the different trailers.
And they are like the coolest couple. Like
Right.
the husband kind of does the Shady Dell. His wife does Classic Rock Couture, which is
Right.
an amazing
Right.
clothing shop. And then they're also now launching a hotel. I don't know if you know about this.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. So yeah, just really cool people,
Well, and
cool vibe.
so one of the cool things I got for Christmas was this like tie from them. They've now
Yeah.
started doing their own ties and things.
Yeah.
So I got this great scarf
Yeah,
that has a spaceship.
cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And so
That's awesome. Well, is there anything else, Marshall?
okay, so today is also Visit Zoo Day.
I love going to the zoo.
And so with that, if you go today or now I think until like January 12th, yeah, you can go for zoo lights as well. So see animals,
So
and it's like,
fun.
and every year they just keep adding to it. So I haven't
They
been in a
do.
couple of years, so I only imagine just how much is going on.
This might be the first year that we haven't gone. Maybe I'll.
You still have time.
I know. I was just gonna
Yeah.
say, my husband. I know you're watching right now. Zoo lights? You want to do zoo lights? I don't. I don't even.
If
have
you say that
kids.
louder, he might be able to hear you.
Hey, husband, let's go to zoo lights. He's sitting in like the programming room.
Right.
I know.
The door's shut. and
Well,
it's like,
he used to actually help do some projects for the zoo, and they would gift us tickets to go to zoo lights every year. So that was a fun
Okay,
tradition.
right.
Now we're on our own. So
Okay, understandable.
yeah.
All right.
But this was a little bit of an extended episode because we had so many great guests to bring with
Yeah.
you today. Thank you so much to AtoZ Botanicals for gifting us these awesome little
Indeed.
things.
I already got some post-Christmas gifts for people now.
Right? I know. So we're so thankful to have everybody on that we had today. Wishing you a wonderful, wonderful weekend. We will be back on Monday with a brand new show, brand new guests.
So yeah, exactly. Some guests and more fun and more us.
Yes.